Peace, guys. What's going on? Welcome back to Metaverse Mondays. Yes, we are back in 2023. I know it's been a while since you guys have gotten an episode. I think the last one was in 2022. But that was us just really kick-starting off Metaverse Mondays, really testing the water, seeing, what the feedback would be like, how people responded to it. And we can definitely say that, it was something that we saw potential in, and we definitely wanted to continue to bring Metaverse Mondays into 2023, alongside with a lot of other things that I will before mentioning in today's discussion. But today I'm going to be accompanied by myself and a special guest. The guest that I have on today, he is all the way from the Ukraine. He's done a lot of influential things, powerful things within the NFT metaverse space. And I think that you guys are going to be delighted in the information and his story and who he is as a human being. I think that we all will be able to learn from him and his story. So I'm definitely excited to bring this gentleman on today. But today I'm going to give you guys a formal update on what's been going on with Aboard Milo, what's our future looking like, what do we plan on doing, and how you can get involved. So first and foremost, I just want to say shout out to anybody that subscribed to this channel over the past couple of months. I do see that we are gaining a little traction, and if you like the content on this channel, please feel free to share it. We try our best to diversify the content on this channel, just between different mediums, just to give a little bit more diversity to the age groups that we cater to. So feel free to share some of that information, but let's just talk about the future with the board Milo, what's been going on. Right now, we are currently in the process of tying up a lot of loose ends legally with the board Milo, mainly due to a lot of the figures that we model our characters after are copywriting. They do have, certain licenses that need to be accessed in order to utilize them or make any type of depiction or anything similar to what they are. So we do have to make sure all of our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So that's really our focus right now, is making sure that, we don't have any legal standings in the near future. And we can say that we are almost finished with that process and we are looking really good. So 2023 is definitely going to be a major move for us into the future as far as what we plan to bring from products to a lot more different things. I don't want to give up too much stuff, but definitely more products will be in the tangible sense to implement it within the Aboard Milo construct. Also, we will be releasing the Aboard Milo website this upcoming month, so you will be able to go on the Aboard Milo website, access many different things on there as far as Aboard Milo is concerned, learning more about our campaign and what we are aspiring to do with our project. And right now we're still in phase one. We are really just focused on developing our community. We're focused on understanding the space and making sure that all of the people who are associated with our project fully understand the space. This is not a project about monetary gain. This is not a project about, I got this NFT and you don't. It's none of that. It has nothing to do with status or anything like that. This project is really about learning and growing and reaching all of humanity and connecting. And that's why our logo is, the Milo figure on top of the world, because we want to reach people all across the world. We don't want to just, connect with people in just one region. We want to touch all regions of the world. And technology has definitely given us the ability and the gift to do so. So we definitely want to be able to push that mission forward in all ways that we can in 2023 and beyond. And we're just asking you for your help too. So like I said, if you want to share some content or share, our page or anything, just the message or the mission with anybody, feel free, because we are a growing community. We are here to build and uplift one another, enlighten one another, and educate one another, and most importantly, empower one another. And speaking of empowerment, I think that the time that we're going in within the 21st century, technology is so essential to having a sense of empowerment. There are so many parts of the world that don't have electricity, or they don't have working Wi-Fi, or their Wi-Fi only works certain times of the day. And I know this sounds absurd if you're sitting in America, but there's a lot of people in other regions of the world that, don't have the same uh, privileges that Americans do. So if you are that person, that is taking advantage of their reality right now, then, NFTs, cryptos, and metaverse is definitely something that I think a lot of people may want to start looking into as far as positioning yourself for the future. So, with that being said, let's talk about some NFTs. Let's talk about some cryptos, and let's talk about the metaverse. Now, NFTs right now, as we can see, is definitely on the downside. And me personally, I look at it as a good thing for the NFT industry because I think now you are starting to weed out a lot of the bad NFT projects. You're starting to weed out a lot of the scammers. You're starting to weed out a lot of the people who are just cash grabs, rug pulls. So with the board Milo, of course, we don't want to fall in that description. We really want to separate ourselves by being authentic and really just allowing our process of maturation to happen over time. We're not in a rush to gain 1,000, a bazillion followers or anything like that. We are eager to enlighten people who may not understand how this will change their life for the better. So that's really what our mission statement really is about. It's about, as I said before, just empowering each other. So as you can see within the NFT space, most people are really only here to empower themselves financially. And that's why the market is on its head right now. So it's not on its head because NFTs aren't, a thing, or they're not, attractive, or they don't have any use case. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the greed that we are seeing manifest within different aspects of reality. It's not just a banking system. It's not just, a government system. It could be any system that, a lot of power is there, or a lot of power is flowing, I should say. So with the NFT space, that's something that Aboard Milo just really strives to stay away from, is uh not being true to our identity and our values. Always just staying true to who we are and what we aspire to do. And that sometimes that takes time when you are formulating that identity or what something particularly looks like. So right now we are formulating that our identity within the NFT space, and we are not here to like try to duplicate what anybody else is doing. We're doing what we are called to do for our time. So that's the NFTs. In regards to cryptos now, me personally, I have been investing in some cryptos. Just to name a few, I've grabbed some Sandbox. Sandbox is still, I believe, like under $1 right now. I've also grabbed some Filecoin. I really like Filecoin. If you are a person that's into like digital storage or believe in the concept of digital storage, then I really advise you to get some Filecoin. Another one that I would recommend is ApeCoin. And I know a lot of people don't really like a Bored Ape uh, project as much. It's not, the fan favorite anymore. However, I still believe that a Bored Ape is going to be one of the main catalysts in opening the door for the main adaptation of the metaverse and NFTs. So I do believe that we will see ApeCoin go from about its current price, which is between $5 and $7, to maybe about $20 in the next 2 years. So I definitely think that ApeCoin is a coin worth holding, mainly because you can almost guarantee that, like, follow the money, follow the energy type of ordeal when it comes to cryptos in a way. So I definitely, like the future of ApeCoin. And like, by the way, they all say this, I am not a financial advisor, so do not take anything that I'm saying as financial advice. Do your own research. I have to put that disclaimer in there. So as I'm saying, I'm not, advising you guys buy these coins, or I'm not rallying behind these coins, but me personally, these are just some coins that I personally invested in. Is another one I like is Bitcoin Cash. I think Bitcoin Cash is a slept on crypto. And the reason being is because Bitcoin Cash is like the fastest Bitcoin blockchain moving crypto. Like, it moves money the fastest. I believe Bitcoin takes a long, long time to move cash. So Bitcoin Cash, BTC, make sure I get it right. BTC, Bitcoin Cash, is definitely a crypto in the future I feel will be almost like a mediator for Bitcoin. So Don't sleep on Bitcoin Cash right now. I think it's still going for like $100+, but I still think that's one worth buying. If you can get your hands on maybe a few of those, your future could definitely be looking real nice, especially sitting under 100 or near $100. This coin has definitely went to almost about what, upwards of $900, somewhere around there, maybe even more, I believe. I don't have my phone. Let me see. I have to look. Let me look, because I like to be accurate with these things. So I don't want nobody coming on the video saying, "Oh, you said that Bitcoin was this and it wasn't." No, I didn't. I did not say that. So let me get my facts straight, y'all. Bitcoin Cash is $139 right now, but the all-time high. See, I didn't tell the lie. The all-time high for Bitcoin Cash was $9,500 at one time. In 2017, it was $1,600. So everything repeats, everything is cycles. And as you can see, especially with cryptocurrency, it already has set its algorithm, its cycle of how the bull runs and how the bear runs, the bearish times work. So if you are just now getting into crypto, you want to learn more about crypto, the best way is just really to put some money in there and just see how your investments cycle, see how they cycle, see how your money grows or how it declines in certain seasons. And that's the best advice that I can give anybody that's looking to make any kind of investment, is that you just have to look at the cycles and the seasons to really understand how, currency really works, because everything is reoccurring. So that's what I got in regards to cryptos, guys. I mean, of course, there's a few other ones that I would like to mention, but I don't want to give you guys, too many cryptos to just really have to look into, and then you like, man, too many to pick from right now. So do your own research and make your own wise investments. Now, the next one is Metaverse. Metaverse right now, I'm a little skeptical on the Metaverse. I'll be honest with you. And the only reason I'm saying that right now is because I think that we're breaching a time of it's a time of invention for the metaverse. It's not a time of immersion. And what do I mean by that is that I think there has to be a few more inventions to piece this thing together. Almost like how when they first got the hang of creating game consoles for TVs or homes. Before that, a game was experienced on a computer. It was experienced at an arcade. It was never meant, to be. I ain't gonna say meant, but it was never initially intended to be played in home until somebody came up with an invention for it to be a in-home gaming system. So I believe it's the same thing for the metaverse, where right now, yes, you are inside the metaverse through the Oculus or whatever headset or modality you use, but for the most part, in order to really experience the metaverse, we're going to need a few more tools. We're going to need a little bit more invention for this thing to work, mainly because I see a problem with like the mobility, being able to move around in the metaverse and really get that experience. Like, yeah, having the Oculus is cool, and you got the little circumference around you that allows you to go within what, 15, 20 feet or however many feet that you have in your home. But for the most part, I think that it needs to be a little bit more limitless. And as you can see, there are a lot of companies that's coming out with like treadmills that you can walk on, so you can almost have like a Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto experience within the metaverse. So I just think even things like that are amazing, because it just allows so much more endless possibility to what can happen with the metaverse. Hold on, guys, I'm just putting it on my charger. So the metaverse definitely has, I would say, another 5 to 10 years before we really start to see a gradual collective immersion, more people interacting and engaging. And that's why the cryptos such as Sandbox and Mana and Illuvium, all of these cryptos are not necessarily reflecting the value that's being put into the metaverse, because right now it's still in the infrastructure phase of being constructed. So just something to be mindful of if you are invested into metaverse cryptos, is that like right now is definitely a good time to buy up a lot of those metaverse cryptos, but you may not see a return on investment until a few more years. So like if you are buying some mana, just know that you might be sitting on probably a couple of thousand manas by the time it really takes off. So that's not a bad thing, by the way, because mana at one point went up to $5. So even if you can get like mana right now is going for 73 cents, even if you can get your hands on some mana right now for 73 cents and it shoots up to $3, man, you got some nice return on investments in the metaverse. So really just look at it from that perspective. Don't look at it, from like, oh, I need this to happen for me right now. But the next thing I want to talk about too, uh, that I really didn't get the opportunity to talk about in past Metaverse Mondays, and we didn't really get the opportunity to talk about it with other guests, is artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence, AI, Chat GPT, all of the likes, artificial art making, all of this, like it's getting crazy now with artificial intelligence. But the main thing that I want to touch on with artificial intelligence is that no matter what is invented, it's only a reflection of you. I'm going to say that again. No matter what is invented, it's only a reflection of you. Artificial intelligence is not here to necessarily replace you. However, it can replace certain activities that you do every day that take up or consume the majority of your brain power. Now, yes, you are relinquishing some of your power and some of your consciousness to an artificial sentient. But with that being said, what you are receiving is just as powerful because you're getting feedback in a matter of seconds. So my personal take on artificial intelligence is that, it's not good or bad. I'm beyond the good or bad paradigm, but it's a tool. It's a tool that can take you to newer levels if you allow it, or it's a tool that can demote humanity to lower levels also. So my thing is just really try to have a balance of artificial intelligence. If you lean on artificial intelligence for a lot of your thinking, I would say reconsider that. Or if you lean on artificial intelligence for writing, I would say just balance it. Try to implement the adverse to that. So if you lean on artificial intelligence for making art, start trying to make some art yourself. I think it's like a ebb and flow, type of thing where it's like what you get in is what you put out, what you put out is what you get in type of thing. So that's how I feel with artificial intelligence, is that don't rely solely on artificial intelligence to replace who you are as the original creator. So that's just something that I wanted to, shout out for this video, because a lot of people have been going crazy. Chat GPT, this AI, like it's, become a real fad within the internet of things to talk about. But, I think a lot of individuals are either on the negative or positive side when it comes to their perspective on what artificial intelligence means for humanity. Now let's move on to some later things. When we think about aboard Milo, right? Aboard Milo, as most people can see it right now, is really just the NFT project. But aboard Milo is so much more. And our overall goal of aboard Milo is to unite people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all across the world. And we want to tell people's story, whether you are a digital creator, whether you're physical, real world creator, whatever it is that you do in your creative discipline, we want to be able to connect individuals alike. And that's why this group is catered towards millennials and Gen Zs. We want to build a connection, guys. So not only is just holding our NFT uh, going to be of value to your social circle, it'll be of value to your conscious circle as well, because we are a conglomerate of conscious creators. A lot of the things that we are creating and curating, we are conscious of it. Whether it's the lo-fi, whether it's the mixes, whether it's the NFTs, whatever it is that we're putting out, we're conscious of it. And we want things to resonate with our audience. And this is why we've started from an outer approach of, really just grabbing people with things that they're familiar with, whether that's, characters that they're familiar with, genres that they're familiar with. And we're talking about our specific target audience. So that's ultimately what we want to do, is we want to build this safe haven for creatives, uh, pioneers, just alike, to be able to commune and build something greater than ourselves and be able to pass down to the next generation, because this is going to continue to go on. Like right now, we are in such a special time as a species to tell our story and to document our story. And I think that sometimes we can take that for granted. Sometimes we overlook the power in that because our grandparents never really had the opportunity to do the things that we're doing today with technology. And I think this has been a big part of Aboard Milo's mission, is to just continue to keep this wheel going, this wheel of progression, this wheel of evolution, this wheel of love, this wheel of communion, especially in just the time frame that we are in, cosmically speaking. So, Aboard Milo is definitely in alignment with the overall cosmic shift of the world right now. So, also, I want to give a shout out to Aboard Milo. Just turned 1 years old as of February 12th. We was gonna do like some type of birthday celebration, but we didn't really have a lot of time because we were doing other legal things that we needed to do. So we just said, hey, we'll try to do something later. But for the most part, we have been, just trying our best to stay consistent with, making Metaverse Mondays, releasing mixes and things like that. And also, guys, feel free to leave any feedback in that comment section, or just leave comments in the comment section in general, just as your imprint to show that you were here. I think sometimes we just underestimate that imprint that we can make on the thing just by showing that we were here, like show that you were here. And you gave your time and your attention, and hopefully it was a meaningful interaction for both of us. But yeah, like that's what we really want to do, is just leave our imprints on this planet, and that's what Aboard Milo just strives to do, is just to leave our imprint. So that's really our mission. That's what we've been up to. If you guys have any characters that you want to see too, also leave some of those comments in our Discord. We will get the Discord back jumping, back parlaying. It's been a little dead, but we've just been doing a lot of, regrouping, bringing on more people that, align with our missions and ideals. So we're not going anywhere, guys. This is definitely a lifetime thing for me and everybody that's a part of it. So glad to have you guys on board. If you guys just joined this channel, I thank you for subscribing. You are in a safe, warm, welcoming place. And it's going to just be more adventurous as we continue to explore. Now, this guest that I'm getting ready to bring on today is really special. As I already said before, he is from the Ukraine. Pray for Ukraine, guys. I know they are experiencing a lot of havoc and catastrophe right now. So I'm definitely sending peace, love, and wholeness vibrations to Ukraine. And really, to anybody right now that's even in America that's witnessing this, because I can only imagine what it's like witnessing your family back home experience, war, and you're in another country. So for anybody that is in that, position, I'm definitely sending my condolences to you as well. But I'm going to bring on our guest today. This guy is, man, a man of many talents. He is very stellar at what he does, disciplined at what he does. And it's kind of interesting how we met, because the universe really just aligned us through a weird, connection. So it's not like, I went and sought after this guy. It was just a simple alignment within the universe of things. And, one conversation just pretty much led to another. And from there, that's how we pretty much brought this all together for you guys in the Metaverse Mondays. I just asked him to, be on this show, and he took that invite, and I'm just honored to have this guy on the show today. So welcome the guest that's getting ready to come on, guys, and let's get right into it. All right, guys, we are back. Got our special guest today, Illia. And this guy I met just through divine timing, nature, just how everything works in life, I guess. And this brother right here is definitely a multi-talented individual, as I already stated before. I'm just going to allow him to introduce himself, his background, anything else he feels led to share. So introduce yourself to the people, Illia.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, my name is Illia Pashkov. I'm a designer in my soul, artist as well, I guess, artist in tech. I would call it. And yeah, I think I have pretty deep experience in design, product development, Web3, and or all related to innovative technology.
Okay, okay. So how did you really get into what you're in today as far as like the web development software? What was your background like as a kid, like teens? I know that you are a little bit older than me, so like how did that start for you?
Yeah, so first of all, I was very like I was born in 85, so 1985. So originally from Ukraine. So when the internet started, for me, it was the biggest passion I can, imagine, like the computers and everything related to that. And before I even got first computer back in the days, I was reading and knowing, I think, everything about it. Like what is the CPU, graphic card, and like RAM, HDD, processor, blah, blah, blah. So when I got my first computer, I literally click into and figure out everything. So after like a year using it, I already can build my computer the way I want, just buying different hardware and swinging in internet and playing around with everything. I've been in like sixth grade, I think, something like that. So then started deep dive into the code, and yeah, I understand like how the web structure works in general. Back in the days, I remember myself being in high school. I can open any website, get into the source code, find access to the database if I want, and do
Wow.
anything I want with any website. And it was kind of like my like learning. Like I understand a lot, and I was already was back in high school. I was teaching people in university how to use computers. It was back in Ukraine. So, but after ninth grade, I was kind of try to find my biggest passion. What is my biggest passion in that computer world is, and my father is an artist, and he always teach me how to paint, and um, my parents are pretty creative. So for me, well, always were this like passion to like creativity and create things. So in ninth grade, I was playing around. I got into Adobe Photoshop, of course, and after
Hmm.
I learned like Photoshop, I was like, I think it's the best tool I can ever use because I can do anything there. I can create art. I can, play around with graphics. So back then, I decided that I don't want to deal with code. I want to deal with art and design, and that is going to be my tool. And then, more like learning about design in general. Back in high school, I think that's when I picked my direction, the field where I'm going to be working with. So after ninth grade, I already started working as a graphic designer in like a small studio in Ukraine, in Odessa, just designing the CDs for musicians and some flyers and some posters, things like that.
Wow.
Being in high school, and then yeah, age 21, I already been art director,
Wow.
one of the
That's
top art.
major. That's major, man. You don't really hear too many people, say that they had that level of success early on, and not even success, just opportunity. And I think just you really being able to take such an initiative at a young age, it really just catapulted you into this whirlwind that you are in now, as a creative director. And
Yeah,
that's amazing, man. I'm honored to have you on the show. Really, just elaborating on your genius. It kind of reminds me of like a Tony Stark in a way. You like the you like the Ukrainian Tony Starks, man.
thank you,
but
man. Thank you, man. I hope
that's
to be an
that's
Iron Man. Yeah, it's something I've always been passionate about. But yeah, you kind of right. But the biggest thing, because in Eastern Europe, in Ukraine, I feel like um, everything's happening a little bit earlier. So like, people started working earlier. So I started working
mm,
in high school because you always want to hustle. And because it's post Ukraine is very like post Soviet Union, people are been very hungry to, prove themselves so that they
mm.
can be, on the highest level, or that they can be somebody. And with internet, I already was back in the days, I was a big fan of Deviant Art. That was the best resource back in the days because it was like the main website where all the designers around the world were like creating art.
Wow.
We had
So
some success in that
let
and
me ask you this
immediately.
then, Illia, because I don't want you to go too far left field. I don't want you to give them too much insight now. Let me ask you this. What led you to come into the United States? Because I see you talk really passionate about the Ukraine, and what really just said, like, what was that light bulb moment that was just like, ah, America, like, was it like a coming to America type moment for you, or was it just like a,
Very
just like career field led you here? What led you to America?
Yes. So as I said, like H21 started to be an art director, working on like leading design projects already and working with other designers. And then I started my first company pretty much 21, 22. I pretty much partnered with developer and we started, build websites. Back in the day, there was no mobile apps yet. And I started to get in clients from US. We started to build e-commerce. We started to build, different projects, and I was working for the agency and in parallel doing my business. So having US based clients and growing up, on American culture, watching all the movies, because movies, it was the big, I feel, school for a lot of people around the world to like learn what is United States are, what is that country is, So pretty much it was always a dream, it's always
Mm,
something that I knew all about Los Angeles. I knew everything
mm-hmm.
about California. My favorite band was Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I was like literally like living that life.
Wow.
So it was very interesting because I moved to London. My girlfriend was studying in Central Saint Martin's in London. It's a fashion college, fashion institute, and I was living there for a little bit, and then I understand that I don't want to get back to Ukraine. I want to get to the global level. I'm ready, like I want to
Mm,
grow more.
wow.
Then after London, I just pretty much um, decided to go and travel to US. I had a few friends who moved there, and just decided to explore that field. Like what the land of opportunities can give me.
And you've
And
been
then
in the US for how long?
like almost 10 years.
And in that 10-year time frame, what's probably been the biggest adaptation that you've had to make being like a digital creator, I would just ask.
Honestly, I don't think I have like a have to go through any like transformation or adaptation, because I was kind of ready for this
Mm,
thing. Of course, like initially it was like a bit of like language barrier, that you want to communicate in the way that people can understand you perfectly. And me like travel around the world is actually helps, because since I was a kid, maybe like my English is not perfect and I have an accent, but if I want to communicate, I can deliver any message I want. It took me probably a year to adapt the market itself.
mm,
And I got hired by BMW to work on the product design side. I had pretty good portfolio that for like my previous career, building UI UX product design. Started my startup that was very related to automotive. It's almost like self-driving car with no wheels. And I literally built this concept like 3D and launched a Kickstarter back in the
mm-hmm.
days. Uh, we raised some funds, but didn't go into the into the right way. The project called eCapsule, so it was like a private space where you can have all the communication inside. You have app, you have different tools, different hardware, but that capsules were integrated in different parts of the world, like airports, hospitals. It's kind of like a co-working place, but where you want to just get into your space and work and do something while you travel on the go. Like while you're doing your everyday but like regular things. And for me, because I was from Ukraine, but I switched this like digital nomad lifestyle, and I was living
Mm-hmm.
it almost 10 years. I'm sensible to that's for me like definitely different level of understanding how to live,
And I'm glad that
uh
you
around the
said that digital nomad lifestyle, because I think that's something that a lot of people that's watching this channel aspire to live. I think with the future that we're moving into as far as 2023, with all of the tools that we have right now, you're going to see a lot more people uh really cling more to the digital nomad lifestyle. But I think a lot of people just want to know, how do I do it? Where do I start? What's some of the best industries to get into? And you don't really hear too many people talk about their journey of becoming a graphic designer to a art director, UX, and all of that, and still being able to travel the world and experience life in full totality. So I think, that leads me into my next question. Like, what do you value most about being a digital creator? Like, having this liberty and this freedom to just travel and live life and experience and still work and gain new connections in the process. What is it that you value the most about being a digital nomad?
Yeah, for me, like I visited probably and lived more than 30 countries, and for me, the biggest passion, uh, it was creating things, but then learning about the world, learning about the life, learning about people. And more you travel, more you understand this world. You understand that like we all the same, we just have different culture, different roots, different knowledge, but you know you're dealing with people who so much stuck in the box because they very related to that specific micro community where they live, uh, and they dealing with the troubles or problems that they're dealing with. But when you take it out yourself of the box, you can see it on a bigger scale, right? You understand that pretty much, all the problems are very basic and all the same. And sometimes I'm dealing with people who like never left the small towns and they just like, oh, why I need to travel? It's so perfect and beautiful here. And like for me, it's like not clear like how you can say that it's perfect if you never seen anything else. And kind of like
Right.
you don't like you can judge or you can make any decision based on just your micro world because you never think anything behind it. You never seen it out of the box. And for me, just an idea that I can travel, like I can learn, I can meet new people, I can learn the culture, and then I can apply my knowledge to it and build something. That was kind of like the biggest passion behind it. Being a creative, you can apply your creativity to anything. We all creative, we all
Yep.
artists, we all designers, we
Hmm.
all, you know it depends how you apply your skill and knowledge to do it. Somebody can be designer and just making their own art at home, like, and somebody just going through really long career path and working in Scandinavian design and then working in agencies and building perfect layouts. It's, to be a designer, you can be designer of anything, and an artist pretty much. But what is your biggest passion? What do you want to solve in this world? How you want to put yourself, position yourself, and do you want to help, solve some problems, issues, and things like that? That's the biggest question for me. And
Wow.
yeah, so traveling is actually really really big part of my journey because I think being pretty back in the days I was pretty active in social media, not as active anymore, but because I travel, I build the community around, you know I have friends everywhere, different countries. So this could be Dubai, Singapore, Australia, Canada, United States, Europe, pretty much anywhere I go, I can find my friends, I can hang out with, and then build my network there. And then I can
Hmm.
apply my knowledge, things that I can build to build something for them, with them, to collaborate with. And because I know talented people around the world, I understand these guys can do this better than that one. And like, you can find the better prices for, let's say, your UI UX designers or creatives who does video design and things like that. And then let's say I was based in Chicago, for example, for quite some time, and I was working with creatives there. So I built my community around, Chicago scene, and then, moved to LA. So right now it's like you always grow, you always, building the new relationships with people and, work on different projects. And that's the beauty about it. And
Wow.
how to make it happen. I think creative field is the best because currently you can organize everything remotely as long as you're strong with your brand, you know how to sell yourself, and you know who's your client, like what
Yeah.
you can offer and how to sell it correctly. If you know the model how you sell yourself, it doesn't matter who you're selling for. You just work on your brand, you build that brand awareness around yourself, and then you map out persona of your client, and then you just deliver. Right now,
Wow.
with e-commerce, social media, you can launch anything, any product you want, being a creative, and just sell it globally. Like it could be anything, literally.
That's true.
So
Yep.
so many tools, and
And that's
pretty much.
powerful. That's powerful that you said all of that. Like, not to cut you off, I apologize, but just to kind of get in the grits of what you just said, because you gave him a lot, and I really kind of just want to dissect a few things that you just said, as far as just like being able to travel the world and how you traveling the world has, given you a new tribe to identify with every time that you've relocated, new connections, new insight, new inspiration. And I think, that really is what most people aspire to have in some way, form of way in life. So to just have you, on this podcast right now and just, giving your testimony, that's definitely an echo to anybody right now that's watching this video, you know, wanting to take that leap of faith, a little bit scared. Like, this guy's all the way from Ukraine and America right now. And even speaking of Ukraine, can you give us just a little bit of a backstory? Because I do see that you are an activist when it comes to the war in Ukraine, just, beyond just the war. Because I see that you talk about your country pretty often and pretty frequent. So I'm gonna just, ask you, like, what are some things that people need to hear, good things about Ukraine, to give them more insight if they've never traveled there.
Yes, so first of all, Ukraine is a very beautiful country with really nice people. Um, Being a part of, this huge Soviet Union machine back in the days, it's always, for the Western countries was considered as, it's like all been like Russia. But internally, it has way deeper roots. Of course, we all tied to each other. Like, and genes and families and everything is like, you can be Spanish and Portuguese, and like, we all related. But Ukraine has its independent roots, its own culture, its own language, and its long centuries of the history to prove its own borders. uh, I was pretty active because I'm from Ukraine. My team was in Ukraine, my family was in Ukraine. I had like more than 100 people working on the projects. It's designers and developers who've been, in dangerous cities like Kharkiv, where war started. And the main idea, why I was given that support, because Ukraine is technological hub, where, really good designers, creatives, technologies, developers building the projects for Silicon Valley, for pretty much biggest companies in the world, because they're the people who are actually doing all this labor to build these things. And I was the guy who was, leading the projects and making it happen. But then in one moment, because of the political situation, because of the aggression that's coming from, Russian government, and current president of Russia, an idea just to start the war in a peaceful country was just something surreal for me, because I was, working on ideas of sustainability, diversity, like, spirituality, like finding the best, next step of evolution and transition into a new era, right, of Aquarius, blah blah blah. And then you see like such evil things, like literally murder, rape, and like, explosions literally happen to civilians that didn't do anything, that they didn't
Mm.
want to start this war. They don't want to, like, they don't, they wasn't even thinking about that this could happen to them.
Yeah.
It was just unfair. And me just like working on the metaverse project and investing all my time to building the metaverse and applying the NFTs and all the innovative stuff, also mixing it with sustainability, defining a way how to apply spirituality, how to save the planet. I was seeing that there is such a big evil that, should be stopped somehow. And like, either I can be a spectator and just like look what's happening, or I can do some sort of an action and, help people who's in needs. And it
Right.
doesn't matter if those are Ukrainians, or like right now people who are struggling in Turkey after earthquake, or other things. That so many bad things happen in this world, that last year was life changing for me, just from the perspective of, I never thought that I'm going to be living through the war. Of course, it's wars everywhere, right? Like, it's happening like on the planet, and we
Yeah.
always like, oh, there is a war in Israel and Syria, or there's
Yeah.
something in Iraq,
Hmm.
Afghanistan, but it's so far. Like, it's something that, yeah,
You
it's
don't
super.
think about until it's in your backyard.
Exactly. Like you can,
Americans, we've never had a war, so it's like we still have that disbelief, like, oh, we can't have a war. Like we've never had a war in our backyard. So I can definitely relate to your sentiment on that, where it's just like you living a normal life, doing everything you normally would do, and all of a sudden it's just a war happens out of nowhere in your lifetime, and it's like you've never seen a bomb or a RPG coming through. It's like
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
nightmare.
And when it's your like you live in like let's say 30 like 5 years pretty much in peace and thinking about how to
Yeah,
make this world a better place, and then literally your family, all your friends, all your business partners and companies are literally in a life threat and danger to be killed and raped and you know like removed from the earth in a seconds. Like what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna be like just watching and accepting it as a perfect transition? I'm not the type of person, so that's why for me, like that year I was pretty much investing a lot of my time. I spent 3 months in Europe. I moved all my family, me and my partners. We moved a lot of people, so it was like 2,000 people just in the first 3 weeks. We organized like a volunteers network, sent a lot of entrepreneurs from Ukraine. Sent a bunch of donations, and it was a lot of work. And I'm always been very apolitical. Like I don't like to deal with politics, and it's definitely like a dirty game that I don't like. I'm more about trying to find the best agreements, and but politics should be about that. But when you're dealing with war, is like the worst thing that could happen in this life. And then when you
yeah,
understand that, like I just understand that no matter where war is happened, there is always people who don't want that in their life, and people who actually really need help, because some people making decision to live life you know when they're not accepting whatever they have, like they can have money but they can go and live on the street. They can have great family, but they decided to take drugs and destroy themselves, right? There is like different ways how you can live this life.
yeah,
But when you trying to build your family, being a working person and taking care of your kids, and then somebody comes with the gun and trying to kill you and rape your family in front of your mother, and like everything, like all the crazy stuff that was happening, is just unfair. That's something that those people who just been moving from they houses and apartments to different countries because they don't have place to live anymore. They don't have
yeah.
work. They don't have documents to do like. And honestly, the world helping a lot in United States and European countries. It's still unfair, but I'm very happy with the way how the world treats it. And I think more good hearts we have on this planet, and just build an idea of like helping each other from any
Yep.
perspective.
We
That's
are
the
definitely united. Like I can't say I know Biden just signed another bill to give I think Ukraine another couple of millions or billions. I'm not sure what the
yeah,
number
yeah,
was, but I know he just signed a bill to give them more money. So I know the United States has definitely been fueling, the recovery of Ukraine. So me
yep,
personally, if I had $1 to donate towards it right now, I definitely would, because I mean it's sad, but what you just said, everything that's going on, and a lot of us can't really relate, until it happens. But it's by that time it's too late. So we really just need to look at these times as a learning lesson, for humanity to understand that there's something that's going on. There's a major transition that's happening within our planet from a conscious level to a physical level. And as creatives, especially people who have the ability to express ourselves in spiritual ways, we have to be able to heal the world through our artistic expressions. And I believe that's why,
exactly.
God has aligned people like me and you. I've met another brother within the short time span that I met you, and he's from Ukraine, and me and him are actually working on some great content together right now too. So I'm just seeing, like obviously, something magical is happening in the universe right now with Ukraine and the United States and just all over, not just those specific regions, but
Yeah,
God is definitely doing something greater. As you said before earlier, Ukraine has been like a foster for the United States and Silicon Valley and the technological advancement. So maybe even with this age of Aquarius that we're in now, there's a few pieces on the chessboard that's being moved around for a greater cosmic, happening. So I mean, I'm not God, I don't know what's going on, but I do think that there is some moving of pieces going
definitely.
on significantly right now for a greater good, and sometimes with the good comes the bad. But that
Well,
goes into my next question.
okay. just want to add a little bit to your point, because
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
the most important thing there, like, because the fight of lightness and darkness happen every second, and it happened in us, it's happened in everyone.
Yeah.
So any decision that we make, we need to win that battle first of all internally, to find the great path for ourselves. And
Yep.
then when we can find that path of like winning that battle, we can be a educator, we can be somebody who can teach others how
Mm-hmm.
to win those battles for them, and then uniting together we can win other bigger battles. So that's kind of like, more like learning about it and like doing like different things, like, that's something exactly what you're talking about. And I'll be happy
Yeah.
to continue maybe with you, like, on another calls, and like, introduce you to our community that we built in San Diego. It's called WISE, a World Initiative for Sustainable Earth. And
Wow.
we built pretty big
Well, I'm gonna
community
definitely do
around.
they have like an Instagram account or any type of online
Yeah, I'll
presence?
send it.
Okay.
We have a mansion in San Diego. It's called Wise Castle, and there is
Mm-hmm.
like, it's like a tech hub, but also spiritual hub. A lot of spiritual people around the world come there, and a lot of entrepreneurs also. So I think it will be great for you to meet the community as well.
Wow. See, and that's just how everything evolves. Everything is about expansion. Right now, we are in the center, and I believe that everything is expanding from the center right now, into infinite potential. And I think, that's what the great power is in being whole and being balanced and being at your center more than anything, is because opportunities like this just presents itself. And for those of you who don't know, like me and this guy, I met this brother. I was cleaning his house. Um, and of course, y'all probably like he was cleaning, yeah, like on the side, I do cleaning jobs. So I just was cleaning in his brother's house, and our conversation just led to NFTs and technology and things like that. And now look at us right here, right now, holding this conversation about expansion and connecting the mind. So I think we're all one and the same on this chessboard. No matter how you may look at yourself, we're all one and the same. And I think that's just the the purest way to approach reality. It's just that we're all equal. I'm no better than this person or the next person. I'm here to observe, understand, and be able to serve. So I just want to say thank you, what I'm saying, for just taking the time out, man, to just, give everybody that's even watching this video the insight that you've been given. Now I
Thank
want to jump
you.
into this next point real quick, because I know we don't got that much time. I'm trying to see when the timer coming in, but
I know we can
it's a
talk for.
project that you have on your page, man, and this project it's immersive. Like it's definitely something next level. And I just want you to give, a little background on how you created this project, only because I want to share it too, also with the viewers, so they can be able to see like, okay, this guy means business. But it is Mad Backpacks. Like, how did that come about? How did you go about curating Mad Backpacks? I don't know if this is your particular NFT project or a client's, but how did that come about? And just the 3D graphics and all of the animation that you had, like, how did that come about?
So, project from Dubai company called WeWay. We met last year, like right after the war, through like my friends, like through my network in crypto Web3 space. There are some co-founders from Ukraine, and like network of the friends. Again, like, traveling around the world, you build in those, communities. I was working on Altar already, so I was, building things for Metaverse quite some time. So I've been pretty heavy in XR AR space, and building the metaverse experiences. So then, in a collaboration with WeWay company, I've been a co-producer who started the Mad Backpacks game in general. The main idea is to apply and build find to earn, play to earn experience using XR, AR in fun way, kind of like mixing like Pokemon Go and Steppen. That was Steppen back in the days. Back in those months, he was like literally just crashing the market. And we were thinking about how we can apply that tech and build something innovative and cool. The way how we work with, we build a team of producers, and we use the best engineers in gaming and graphic artists to produce such a game. There is a very talented people who work on that project, and I think you've seen the video, you've seen the tech that behind. I step out of the project, I think in September. So kind of like, I gave my ignition, like set up
Yeah.
everything and work well. So then, I'm focusing on my other stuff. But yeah, Mad Backpacks is definitely something that worth checking out and looking, because
Yeah.
there's
It's
a pretty
dope.
pretty big team, even though, crypto market and NFT market is like always have, ups and downs, and right now is not the best time. It's always about the utilization, all about who can spend that money to actually build something really great, and like build something
Mm-hmm.
that other people are gonna like. So that's why, I think it's really really great example how you can apply gaming graphics, gamify, and DeFi models together to have such a cool experiences.
Yeah. Now, I know that you also have your own cannabis or like CBD online store. Now, you showed me that in extended reality. Now, for those of you who don't know what extended reality is, can you give them like an understanding of like your website, your brand with the cannabis, and how that operates with extended reality? Because we've heard of AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, but when you said extended reality to me and you showed me just like how I could interact with the products and the real world, was like that was crazy, man. So
Yeah,
just give
so
people a little insight on that.
with my partner from cannabis business, he's pretty deep into cannabis for like last 7 8 years here in LA, and also we've been working with him on different tech projects. It was his kind of side passion. We have another partner who are very deep, high level engineer on Snap company, actually working on AR as well. So pretty much our group, which is like we've been brainstorming like back in the days, how we can apply the models that we're working on, that we are very passionate about, to, let's say, cannabis business. And we literally invested our own time, money for like few years, like R&D, and building something that we just think it's just jamming together, like something
Yeah,
that we think going to be very cool. And then honestly, after a few years building, prototyping, putting together business models, we started polish it to the way that we can actually apply it to the market. So because I have resource, we have great talent in a team, we can actually build the product ourselves without any investors, and like pretty much put it into the market and launch it. So I recommend to check it out. We're just on the early stage. It's called Weedar,
mm-hmm.
.io. It's a cannabis marketplace where we're using AR for now. When I say XR, it means that I'm talking about the extended reality, because the everything that we build are applying for the next step of evolution, because that currently what you can see in AR could be used in your goggles, and it's going to be your extended reality. And that is the metaverse for me, because whatever is happening on your screen currently is just like another like gaming engine. But when you interact with physical world, and then you apply this extended reality on top as additional layer, that's where you can get like different new additional experience that can make your experience way better.
Yeah,
So yeah, so cannabis project is very cool, because we polish the business model to the way that we create like a loyalty programs for the users. So when the user is buying cannabis products, they can achieve some perks and discounts. So more than buy, more they get in, like in the gamified way, they get in more discounts, perks, and different gifts and goodies from the brands. And another part of it, that we do collaboration with an artist. So and every like we create unique collectibles, and every collectible made in collaboration with artists. So we did the first one with Junkyard. This is his actually graffiti here in the office. The guy
wow.
painted this art.
Yeah, and I've seen that art somewhere. I know it's like it's in my subconscious, but I'm like I can't remember where I like
Yeah,
saw it. I know
the
I've saw
guy's
it somewhere.
guy is pretty popular. He's a friend of mine. He's from Chicago. He's from Africa originally, but South Africa, I think. But we met in Chicago like 5 years ago. Just collaborated on some like graffiti. Like there was some artist event, and then we just like put some graffiti on a wall. We met, and then like when I started this project, I was like, he was the first who come to my mind to collaborate with. So the main idea, we create this unique collectible that artists can sell for his audience, and if artist has more than like 100 to 100K following, he definitely has some sort of like audience that he can communicate with. On other hand, we apply audience from the brand. So we meet artists with the popular brand who has communities as well. And then we build a product that we cross market between community of the artist and community of the brand. And we build it as a unique collectible. So whoever buy that product, they can claim an NFT. And NFT gives them access to open the map of perks and layouts. Like you play, any gaming like Call of Duty, and you can customize different things for yourself. So right now we're launching digital stash box. So whoever small cannabis products, they can create like a virtual goods and put them in the virtual stash box. As a next step of evolution, we're gonna sell the physical stash box. So you're pretty much gonna have like a physical device where you can stash and put together the different products you're buying and get the subscriptions. So it's pretty cool model, and we got investment and built
Wow.
pretty good stable app. It's already on App Store. People who's in LA, they already can download it and use it as a delivery. All the products going to be delivered, but we're going to be launching new drops and like new updates very soon. That's like what we're working on currently.
Wow. That's huge, bro. Like everything that you are doing right now, man, is definitely beyond, it's like you just said, it's bringing in the future. And that's something that, I'm excited to see. And I will definitely be tuned in to everything that you are doing, man. But to close this interview, this session, this divine meeting that we just had, what is some advice that you would just give to any young aspiring creative out there right now? We only got 1 minute left, so I don't want you to get cut
My
off. So try to make it
recommendation:
meaningful.
never give up. Never give up. Believe in yourself. Find your own way. Find your own personality, your own character, your own style, your own art, and don't worry about like what other people are gonna think about it. Just do you, and you know, get to the point where you have to be. The main thing, just keep your vibrations high, and keep the hard work. That's main recommendation.
That's amazing. That's amazing, man. That's powerful words from the brother Illia, all the way from Ukraine, speaking directly from Los Angeles. Right now, we're both in LA. So if you guys are in LA or ever come to LA, make sure you check out this brother. And I will also leave the links down below so you guys can chime into his what was that? The cannabis, right? The weed. How do I say it?
AR with AR.io.
Weed AR. So we definitely gonna leave that link down there. So if you need some ganja or anything like that while you in LA, definitely hit his link. But outside of that, that concludes today's meeting. Until the next time, I appreciate you, Illia. Peace.
Thank you, brother. Peace.